What goes on in our gut has an enormous influence on our brain. Inside our gut, we have what's called a microbiome. This is about 2 to 3 to even 4 pounds of bacteria that inhabit our gut and help us to digest our food. So these things are found in our gut, but they have an enormous influence on our brain. Let's think about a very common child psychiatric syndrome that's now being readily identified and being prescribed Ritalin and Dexedrine and Adderall for, ADHD, attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. Well, the interesting thing we're now finding is that children that have had exposure to antibiotics are much more at risk to develop ADHD. So the thinking is maybe if we help these kids with their guts and maybe gave them probiotics when they were exposed to antibiotics, maybe their behavior would be better down the road. We're now realizing that the gut and the brain are intimately connected. Our diet, there's a lot of studies from around the world, different populations, to show when people eat a healthy traditional diet of fruits, vegetables, nuts, grains, limited amount of meat, they tend to be much less depressed and much less anxious. And when they go to a Western diet, which is a lot of fats, a lot of sugar and sweets and processed foods and carbohydrates, they're much more likely to develop anxiety and depression. The sad part is psychiatry has not gotten this message yet. There is not any material on this in any psychiatric textbooks, yet physicians in integrative medicine, alternative medicine, holistic medicine have been working in this area for 30 years. So there's an enormous lead that we have in understanding the connection between the gut and the brain. It's really a holistic premise. It's a premise about the whole person, and that's why we feel like we have to understand and treat the whole person, including their diet and their gut.